good morning.
Good morning.
I'm Judy O'Connor, and I'm the founder and CEO of Like Neighbors.
And I'm Dr. Lola Adeyemi. I'm the founder and CEO of Mentoring Her.
Hi, Dr. Lola. It's so nice to meet you.
Lovely to meet you as well.
And we have a little question game that Antech TV would like us to play. So we've got some questions in front of us to ask each other about our businesses.
Sure.
Are you ready?
Sure.
All right. I'm going to start with a question for you.
Okay.
So what is the story behind Mentoring Her?
So I started mentoring her because of a personal need that I had. So as a physician and throughout my career or prior to becoming a physician, I sought mentors and I found them. I had informal mentors like my mother and my aunties, but most of my mentors in becoming a physician and as a physician were men. That's okay. But I realized that my path, I had other needs. As a woman, I wanted to be a mother, I wanted to have kids and things like that. And then I also had an entrepreneurial drive and ambition and things like that. So I was looking for not the normal path of, a mentor. As a physician, I also wanted to meet with other women who could inspire me, who could help me, who could mentor me, and my passion and channel what I wanted to do and how I wanted to, and all the things that I wanted to achieve. But I couldn't really find them. I didn't have access to them. And I realized that it wasn't only a problem that I had. I was getting an award a few years ago for my entrepreneurial pursuits. And we had a Q&A, and people were asking me who were my mentors, and I said, Professor this, Doctor that. They were all male.
Right.
And then people were saying that, this is the problem, that it's so hard to find female mentors, et cetera, et cetera. And it was true, because a lot of the time, we don't have direct access to female mentors because women are busy with their lives and they have multiple roles in society.
But we need somebody to guide us. We haven't combined all this before. We haven't been a businesswoman and a mom and a wife. We haven't done it. And so to be able to have somebody who can not just say, well, this is what you should do business-wise, or this is what you should do as a mother, we truly do need mentors that bring it all together.
Absolutely. And so I'm trying to create something that where we can find women like that.
I love that.
That's
Absolutely
what mentoring,
love that.
that's the story behind it. I found that there was no platform that I could, there was not one place. And I realized that technology was the easiest way to make that happen. Since we're in the age of technology. Right. And so create a platform where women can come together and find one another to mentor one another.
Thank you. That's beautiful and perfect and so needed.
Thank you. And so I'm going to ask you a question.
Okay.
What is Like Neighbors?
Good question. So Like Neighbors is an online service gift registry. So if you have a best friend in New York who just went in for emergency surgery, or your mother-in-law is going through chemo in Pennsylvania and you're thinking, how do I help? It's an online gift registry that actually lets you send them services. You can gift meal deliveries, and you can gift all levels of medical transportation, from a regular Lyft ride to the grocery store, all the way up through a wheelchair-accessible van or a non-emergency ambulance. So you know you're gifting something that they really need during these times.
Oh, that's great, because it's not always about money, right?
Absolutely not.
I think that's really needed.
Thank you. All right, next question for you.
Sure.
So how is Mentoring Her different from anything else out there? There are a lot of mentoring programs, and there's a lot of focus right now on women and girls and women mentoring girls. How is your organization different?
That's a great question. And so Mentoring Her is, as the name implies, we're trying to mentor one female at a time. So it's actually a one-to-one virtual mentoring. So Mentoring Her is an online mentoring platform. It's like a social networking platform where women come together. So we're trying to form a community. We're connecting people and forming relationships. So it's not just about connecting people. It's forming relationships with people, with women, that can increase your full lifetime potential. So that's the difference. So, and we're using technology, and we're trying to use artificial intelligence to help us with that. So the difference is with like a LinkedIn, you form connections, you form your network. Mm-hmm. And that's where it goes. You might form relationships, you might not. We're going a step further, whereby we actually help you form the relationship. We give you tools, and we are trying to get you the best match possible to help you build that relationship. We'll look at your background. We'll look at your things that are important to you, like your education, your experience. We bring it all together.
So it's really well-rounded.
It's well-rounded.
It's about the whole person, not just this is my career goal. Or,
exactly. And we're building solid relationships. So again, it's not about the connection. It's about the relationship. And it's a community of women. And it's also a niche. And then you don't have to worry about the Me Too issues that is going on right now. Because the truth is, men are going to be scared to help us now anyway. And so we're just bringing it all together in a tight, close-knit community, and where you can be vulnerable, you know, and where we can understand. Like my husband and my daughter, they have the best relationship ever, but there's some things like my daughter's like, Mom, Daddy doesn't get this, and that's what we're trying to do. So we're different in that we're a niche market. We only focused on women. We're using technology and machine learning to bring women together to find the best match possible to help them build their full lifetime potential.
And when you have those deeper relationships, you know that they're going to last a lot longer, and as you hit different stages in your life and you hit different stages in your career, you still have that relationship and that mentor to guide you. It's not a beginning point and an end point.
Absolutely.
That's fantastic.
Appreciate it. Next for you.
All right.
So what inspired Like Neighbors for you?
So a few years ago, a friend of mine in California had a little boy who was being treated for cancer, and he was very, very critically ill for an entire year. And during that time, his parents both had to quit their jobs. They had to find new homes for the pets. They were at the hospital every minute they could be. And living in Maryland, I didn't know how to help them. It's really hard when you don't live close enough to say, well, I'll take your dogs for a walk, or I'll drop off dinner. And so one day a friend of theirs posted that they could use meals. And I thought, perfect, I can send a restaurant meal delivery from Maryland to California. And it turned out it wasn't that easy, because I didn't know if they'd be home or at the hospital, and who delivers there, and how many people were eating, and there were all of these questions. And I ended up having to text the little boy's father, which just felt intrusive. I didn't want to bother him. Yeah. And by the time the meal was on its way, I'm thinking, this is not the way it should be. I should be able to just look at a web page and see, oh, they need meals on these dates, or they need dog walkers on these dates, or they could use a house cleaner, on this Friday, and I should just be able to click and give it.
Absolutely.
And it didn't exist.
Wow.
So that's why I built Like Neighbors. It nagged at me for a couple of years until I finally said, all right, this is it. It still doesn't exist, so I'll make it exist.
That's great.
Thank you.
Absolutely great.
Thank you. So how would you like people to support Mentoring Her?
That's also a great question. And right now, we're still in alpha beta mode. And so that means that we're still creating our service. We're still creating our website. We're testing it. We're piloting it. We're trying to make sure that we're giving the best that we can give for the people we want to give it to. So we have a few women testing our website. So what we need is people to go on our website and subscribe. You just go to mentoringher.com. And there's a box at the bottom that says subscribe, so you can put in your email address, and so that when we eventually go live, or when we do need more people to pilot it, we will contact you. Perfect. Aside from that, we need volunteers all the time, so people can volunteer to help out. And just be ready to become a mentor or a mentee. If you want your kids to be, your daughters to be mentees. When we go live, we'll be in touch with you. And we're always looking for corporate sponsors. So if it's something that your organization is interested in sponsoring, just let us know. So those are the main ways you can be a part of it. So in terms of the mentees, and you mentioned people's daughters, what age do you actually start mentoring girls? 13. Good question. That's 13. Fantastic. Yeah. Okay, great. Thank you. One more question, or two more questions for you. So this sounds similar to like a GoFundMe, but instead of money, it's like services. So how are you different from GoFundMe? So there are a couple of ways we're different. So first of all, people are asking for